We wake up every bakar to, well, what most folk would call a brand new yum. Um, I reckon it is a brand new yum, but to me it's nothing new under the Gadal or. But the Gadal or is the SUN, the greater light. But I do see it as a yum to desirably be more obedient, be more Shema to Yahweh. We live in a world that has become the greatest distraction. You know, there's always been distractions, but I don't think not like there has been as of this yom. Even this phone I'm holding, technology they like to call it, it's a distraction. It is a way for Lanu to get the Hamath, the truth that we discover out there, to others. It is a way to keep each other lifted up and encouraged in Yahweh. It becomes a danger when it takes Lanu away from each other, especially within your own bayith, your own homes, your own house. You know, it's like we can see these phones as a distraction. You know, if we go places and somebody's always on them, you know, you can't go nowhere without someone's face being buried in their phone. I don't care how old or how young the person is. It's quite pathetic. And of course, it aggravates you whenever they're on their phone and, you know, they've got their responsibilities and they're not doing the responsibilities. It's the same way in your home. The phone does not need to replace the conversation between an Asha or Aisha or Asha. It does not need to replace the conversation between a Amma with her Yaladim, her children. You know, it does not need to become your tool for you to keep your calendar dates marked on. It does not need to become your, you know, your talking buddy. You don't need to talk to your phone and have it answer you back. That's just beyond me. It doesn't need to be the device that you use to watch the outside of your house with or the inside of your house. You know, if you can see what's going on the outside of your house or the inside of your house with your phone, others can too. You're not the only person that's looking through the lens of your camera. These phones are dangerous. And I think often about taking mine and just taking a hammer to it. Taking a hammer to it. You know, the flesh, the bashar, my flesh would desire, you know, the connection of being able to watch other people and learn from other people, or other lam, Lam, instead of People. I gotta quit speaking People, but lam. My flesh would miss that, but my rook doesn't need that. My rook needs Yahweh. My rook needs his debar. My rook needs time with Yahweh, Akkad on Akkad. I need other Mashpakan Yahweh to be able to talk with or communicate with. But do we not have mail right now? Do we not have mail? Right now we still have it, Mashpaka. These phones have been worked as a great tool for those of Lanu and Yahweh. They have been used to learn from. There comes a time whenever solid construction like a book or paper, it's going to be your only device that you're going to have to work on to keep, to look back on. Start keeping notes now, to be sure you've already started keeping books and, making your own library. First, of course, you need to make your library with Yahweh's Devarim, his word. Get your hands on as many as the removed Safarim, the removed books that you can get your hands on. There are lots of them out there, and it's hard to find some, but we still have to dig, and I'm still digging to get my hands on others. A lot of people are like, what are they? What are they? You know what? Do your own research. Get on your phone or your computer and type it in there. Look it up. Removed books of scripture. Of course, you're going to first see that it's all going to be pretty much in English, which is, that is pagan terms, pagan Devarim. But if you dig deep enough and you restored Shamuth, I probably spoke the MES a while ago, you need to search for the restored Shamuth. And Shamuth is the pagan Devar, Names, of Scripture. And then other things will pop up. And then you have to pull all and use your discernment that Yahweh gives you, if you're listening to him, to find that if it's the right Devar or not. Everybody can't do your own homework for you. Everybody wants a quick answer. They don't want to have to go and do the work on their own. Learning Abrith, Yahweh's Lashon, is an amazing Zod, amazing journey. And I am just absolutely in a haba with it. And it makes you grow with Yahweh. It brings you in a deeper, a closer relationship with Abba Yahweh. A lot of folks wonder why they don't have that deep closeness with him yet. Well, how much time are you sharing with them? I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of not spending enough time with Abba Yahweh. I am too guilty of letting my distractions here on the farm get in my way and my time, and this stupid phone is a cod of them. That's why it makes me bring this up. These phones tear families apart. The phone does not need to be your Ayish's Asha, okay? The phone does not need to be the Asha's Ayish. The phone does not need to be your Yalad or your Yaladim, your children's best friend. We're all guilty. Well, I can't speak that. I'm not going to speak that we all are guilty of it. Probably at a time or point we have been. But there are some that have come away from it. Therefore, I'm not speaking about them. They have become more Shema, obedient to Yahweh. I'm not going to include them in this. But most folks turn to the phone for every single little thing. It cannot be your companion. You have a cod of those. And if you don't, consider it a barakah. Because that way you have more time you can devote and spend with Yahweh. And I'm not trying to make it sound like having an Asha or a Aish is a bad thing. It's not. Before anybody gets that idea in their head. But when a person doesn't have another person to be with or take care of or become a cod with, you have that time and that a cod on a cod relationship with Yahweh. You have that. And that is a deep, deep barakah. It's because there are distractions in the berith with a man or a woman. With a woman or her Yaladim, or a man or his Yaladim, an Abba, his Yaladim. These phones were not meant to do tube, y'all. They're not meant to do tube. Good, tube. They're not meant for that. They are used for more destruction than they are used for anything tube. Anaknu, we, as Yahweh Jaladim, have taken this device and we have used, or we have worked it to do tube on our behalf. At the same time, it is still a danger. It's still a danger. How many people get in wrecks because they're too busy looking down at their phone? You know, how many people die because they're too busy looking down at their phone? How many people go out and commit suicide, you know, especially youngins, because somebody was mean to them on their social media on their phone? The suicide rates are up way more than they ever were in the past. The bullying and, you know, the devil's playground, aka public school systems, aka private school systems, aka some of the homeschool systems. You know, you have to shamar and be on guard. I am dealing with this. I am dealing with this on a deep note. And then other people think, well, how can I survive without a phone? How can I talk to a person without a phone? You know, they didn't always have these computer phones. And you still can find those little flip tops that you can do the basics on. Like talk to somebody. The world is a distraction. The phones is the eye to it. These phones are basically the Akkad eye. The all-seeing eye. Think about it. How many cameras is on your phone? Do you not think that your phone is watching you? Do you not think that your phone is listening to you? I know it's listening to me right now. I know people listen to our conversations. I forget about it most of the time, but then I realize that, hey, there's some devil out there listening to me, recording or keeping notes or keeping up, tracking. Your phone is facing you. Your phone is facing the other direction. They can see everything. You ever thought about that? And then with all these people that drink the Kool-Aid, and they have this techno shadim in them now, and their phones can control them. It's time we start thinking about how much time we spend on these phones and how much longer we're going to actually keep them. We all need, Anakanu, we call all need to think about this very seriously. Anaknu, Palal Yahweh, Mashpaka. This is preparation yom, and I'm going to go get busy to bring in the Shabbat whenever the Gadaur goes down this Layla. You don't have to have a phone to survive, Mashpaka. There's folks out there that live right now without electricity, without phones, without automobiles. Now, if they could only believe in Yahweh instead of the evil Akkad by the Nick Shamuth of G-O-D and L-O-R-D and J-C and all of the rest of the Shamuth, if they could only find Yahweh. What an amazing Kayi they live. If they would only find Yahweh. We can do the same, Mashpaka. Electricity is not that old. Phones ain't that old. Make sure you have, at least somewhere on your home, a wood cook stove or a wood stove. Make sure you have somewhere on your home a way to have water. Make sure you have food stored up, a place to grow food. And make sure, above all, you bring Yahweh into your Bakar. You bring Yahweh into your Layla for Shalom. And you bring Yahweh along with you on that Zod every single second that you're awake. Shalom, shalom. Rumama Yahuwah.